I mean, it'd be silly for me not to take the Dolphins now, wouldn't it? I'd have to take the Dolphins.
Come on, it's 5:35. Pick 'em. You just made the intro.
Hi, and welcome to the I Formation. I'm Jeff Gibbons.
I'm John Moist.
Well, thanks. Want to just put out a word of thanks to everybody who asked where we were over the last couple of weeks, and we just had some things going on. We couldn't get the show up. We did manage to keep our picks up and running, and want to, our producers back down, and certainly your poor grandmother is laid to rest. All that's all done with, and we're back to what we're doing. So, thanks for staying the course and coming back to see us. So we're going to tell you about who we think is going to win this week in the NFL.
Let's go.
Oh, you want to go now, do you?
Yeah, just
you want to go?
Jump right in.
You want to go? All right, man. Okay.
New England and Miami.
Well, let's start there with the Thursday night. Judging by, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be on different sides of the field here. But I looked at what happened last week in Miami. I'm also looking at what happened last week in New England. You can laugh all you want, buddy. It'll be all the sweeter. I'm picking the Dolphins for the upset of the week. Seasons change on a moment's notice. This is Campbell's offense to send into Miami and send a message. I saw a lot of times where Tom Brady got rushed last week with that Jets defense. I saw him hurried. I saw him knocked down. And I think that defense...
And he still won.
It's all right. It's all right. And I saw something in Miami last week against that Houston Texans defense.
Houston Texans, that's right.
Okay, now, the man who crowed about the Houston Texans defense for so long at home, and now you're going to turn around and say, oh, it weren't nothing but a thing. Well, it was a big thing.
Not this year.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else. I don't care what defense you got on the field in the NFL. We had a Miami offense that had 3 touchdown passes over 50 yards in the first half. Ryan Tannehill delivered the goods. And I think that defensive line and Tannehill and Lamar Thomas can make a difference.
The over-under on this is 7.5. If Miami comes under that 7.5, I will eat this football in the next show.
That's nothing new for you, eating balls. Put something out there that really means something. Anyway, Miami by a touchdown in Foxborough, despite the fact they'll find some way to clog up the radio headsets or they'll do something. Sorry, no Patriot love this week. Bon appetit.
Yeah, Brady's the MVP of the league so far this year.
Oh, that's right.
The offensive line that's there.
Oh, Tom Brady.
The offensive line has been protecting him just as good as any team in the league this year, and they're not going to lose.
It didn't look so good last week.
Not going to lose to Miami.
All right. Anyway, I hope that next week I can come back and I can rub your nose in that. That's better than any pick this year. Next we got Detroit and Kansas City, and this is the London game. Going to be the early rise for Sunday morning. Who you got here?
KC.
I got KC too, and the Sunshine Band, man. Yeah. I'm your boogie man. I think they're going to do it. This is a show of two teams that have done very, very poorly. I think one are 1-5, and the other one's 2-4, something like that.
Yeah.
It's the WGA
Detroit just wiped out their offensive coaching. 3 of them gone.
Yep.
So now they're starting up again with a new offensive scheme, I'm sure, and the place to bring the new scheme is not to KC at Arrowhead, where the Chiefs have done a great pass rush this year.
But, yeah, and they're not going to bring it to Arrowhead, remember?
Oh, that's right. We're going to London, aren't we? Wherever.
And the Chiefs are only 1-2 at home this year anyway.
Yeah. Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Oh.
So yeah, that's okay, man.
Chiefs it is.
Chiefs. Next we got Cincinnati going to Pittsburgh. And the new and improved Cincinnati Bengals against the hopeful Pittsburgh Steelers. And we've both seen this the same way, I think.
I'm not sure. We haven't talked about what we've seen. I'm going with Cincy.
So what?
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't think you'd lost all your cognitive ability. I figured we were both going with Cincinnati.
There's a couple of quick statistics here that I was looking at today. Cincinnati. When you're talking about Cincinnati, you're talking about Andrew Whitworth on the left tackle, won the best in the game. And I was reading an article today that said that no pass rusher that was blocked by Whitworth has sacked Palmer since 2013.
It's a pretty good stat.
Not Palmer, sorry, Dalton.
Dalton.
Dalton since 2013. But since these offensive line have allowed 6 sacks this year, and Pittsburgh has allowed their quarterbacks to be sacked 18 times. So
And Roethlisberger's not even there.
last time I checked, that's trouble.
Well, Pouncey out of the mix too. Remember, that's a big part of that.
It
The
is,
center.
and I know Graham said it earlier the year about Pouncey being out that there was going to be some trouble there. Since he's just a better football team, and although Pittsburgh will have Ben Roethlisberger back for this one,
I know he's on the edge.
I still have to give the edge to Cincy here.
Me too.
Yeah.
7 points,
Yeah, I agree.
even in Pittsburgh. Sorry, Graham. Next, we got Tampa Bay going in to play the 6-1 Atlanta Falcons.
I got to go with Atlanta. I mean, Tampa might keep this game close. It's divisional.
Sure.
It's always kind of close there, but I think Matt Ryan and Julio Jones too much to handle. Devontae Freeman's having a great year.
Devontae Freeman.
Yeah.
9 rushing touchdowns already this year.
Wow.
Over 600 yards on the ground. Yeah, and he's my pick right now. You know, there's no Brady love here, but I mean, I'd like to see where Atlanta finishes in that division and how they go through the playoffs. I think that's going to play a major role in who I think MVP. I mean, Brady's Brady. You know, when he throws 3 or 4 touchdowns at the beginning of the season, he's on pace for 5,000 yards, and you know how this goes. So let's see him get through the whole year. There's some big divisional games coming. One this week. Yeah, I'm thinking that they may keep it close, but I think they pull away at the end. I'm giving them 10 points actually.
Okay, I like it.
All right, man. Next, we got the Giants coming in to New Orleans, play the Saints.
That's an interesting one. No wonder you're picking here. I'm going with the G-Man.
Yeah, I'm going with the Saints.
Saints, okay.
I sure am. And I think both of these teams have questions that need to be answered this year. Certainly the New Orleans Saints are missing Jimmy Graham. That's a big part of that. Drew Brees has not been as effective as he has in other years. The receiving core has sort of taken a hit. But I think that at home, I think that, the Giants, I see that they signed Jason Pierre-Paul to a 1-year contract today. And as somebody pointed out online that, he's going to have his hand in a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
That'll bring some fireworks to the defense. I think to quote somebody online this week on our page. But certainly,
it might be just the spark they needed.
Yeah, it just might be. But the thing you got to remember here is that that's a big statement from the organization too. I mean, this was the man they were about to sign a $60 million deal with, and now all of a sudden it's a 1 year. Let's see how that goes. I mean, when you take fingers off a person that's a tackle, you know it's going to impact their performance. So let's see. And I hope he proves the critics wrong, and I hope that he comes out and he's a big force for them. But I just don't think that I find that the Giants. It was their division to lose, I think, over there. Nobody seems to be wanting to win that division. No, there's no clear-cut winner, and I still think that those Eagles might come up the middle. But let's just see. I'm saying that they're going to, in New Orleans, they hold court, and they win by a field goal.
I'm going to go with the Giants the other way because, believe it or not, the Giants do lead the NFL in plus and minus on takeaways. So, playing well on defense there, and I think that this is going to be a high-scoring game. I see the Giants winning by a field goal.
All right, man.
Either way.
All right. 38-35 kind of deal.
Yeah.
Next, we got Minnesota going into Chicago to play the Bears. The Bears.
I'm going to look at the Vikings there, I think.
Me too.
Yeah, the Bears don't have a whole lot. I mean, they could surprise. Divisional game. But I just think Minnesota got a better team.
Any given Sunday. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think lots going on there. Peterson's getting stronger and stronger every week.
Yeah.
And I think that that team is a contender for that division.
Yeah. It might be a close game. Alshon Jeffrey is coming back for Chicago. So they're going to have him as a weapon in the air, and they still got Forte on the ground. I think it's a 3-point game.
We'll see. Next, we got Arizona going to Cleveland to play the Browns.
Arizona going to play the Browns. Got to go with the Cardinals there.
I do too. I was a little scared of this one first, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Only because they're in Cleveland. I think the other way I don't even worry about it at all. But,
Yeah.
Brian Hoyer has done some pretty incredible things in Cleveland already, but I don't think he's any match for that Arizona front seven, and I certainly don't think that they're going to be able to control people like Larry Fitzgerald in the air.
Well, if Larry Fitzgerald is shadowed by Joe Hayden, they might be able to, but we'll see what happens. They've still got a great offense so far this year for Arizona, and Palmer's playing at the top of his game. Defensively, Callis Campbell's been doing great, so these guys just got more talent on the field, I think. But I don't see this as a blowout.
Okay, no. It'll be a good game to watch, actually. Next, we've got San Diego going to Baltimore to play the embattled Ravens.
I like the Ravens in this one.
I do too.
Okay.
I think that Flacco still underrated, and I think that he can.
I agree.
He controls games. He doesn't overtake games. He runs games. You know, he's that kind of a fella. But when he needs to throw the ball, he can throw the ball. One of the strongest arms in the league, and I can't.
They're having a rough year at 1-6. Spent a lot of time traveling, and now they're back home. And I see a big game for Justin Forsett here too.
And 3 of those games, they've had leads in the fourth quarter and lost them. I mean, these are all, and they've been close games.
Yeah.
So Baltimore, with a coin throw one way or the other, wins half of those games. This could be a totally different division. But I'm saying Baltimore. I'm going to say this is close too.
Yeah.
I think, but I think you're right. I think they get at least 150 yards rushing against that San Diego defense.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. Next, we got San Francisco going in to play the St. Louis Rams. They've played very well.
San Francisco.
No, not them. I mean,
No,
the
they
Rams.
haven't played well at all. What is going on with San Francisco? Kaepernick was sacked 6 times last week, and now they're going up against the likes of Robert Quinn. Yeah, good luck, boys. St. Louis is going to win this one. San Francisco is not going to score very many points.
49ers are at that point now already. We'll get them next year.
Yeah.
I think they realize this season's tanked.
I hear Kaepernick has been a loner in the locker room, and there's some trouble going on there. So we're not surprised by that, are we? That there's trouble in the locker room with Kaepernick?
No, we're in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Certainly, you got to be careful of automatic weapons and everything in there. All right, yeah, I don't even see this close. I think St. Louis controls this game at home defensively, and they shut the door on Kaepernick.
Ground and pound with Gurley.
Yeah, I'd say there's a chance here for San Francisco to yet again score less than 10 points in this game.
I agree.
Next, we've got Tennessee going into Houston to play.
This one's an interesting one.
Texans.
I'm going to go with Houston.
Me too.
Okay. Okay.
Just checking.
We're agreeing again. This is
Yeah.
getting scary.
Yeah, it is getting scary, actually. Houston's coming off a rough loss to the Dolphins. They've also lost Arian Foster for the year with a torn Achilles.
Yes.
And who's the fellow back there, the handcuffed option? Quick is his name?
Alfred Blue.
Well, Blue is there, but who's the other fellow? There's another fellow here now as well.
I'm not sure.
I think it's Quick. Is that his name?
Okay.
Something like that. Can't remember. But he's, keep an eye to see how they're going to play that run game, because they need to develop that run game in order to develop play action.
DeAndre Hopkins having a good year as well.
I think that Houston, these are always good games. Tennessee, Houston, Indianapolis, all these guys. I think this is a close game as well, and I think it might be one of them 16-13 games this time. It's going to be a chess match.
Houston cut Ryan Mallett. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Are we surprised by that?
No, not really.
Somewhere out in the universe, Matt Schaub is smiling. Next, we've got the Jets going into Oakland. And I ain't been hot about this one for a while, too.
I was just about to say, I'm afraid of this game. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Me too.
But there's certainly no lock. I mean, Oakland's been playing some good football this year. Last week, who'd they light up last week?
Oh, I can't remember.
Was it Sandy?
Maybe. Yes, it
That's
was. I
right.
believe.
Sandy came back in the fourth and tried to make it close, but Oakland...
Oakland did enough to make it happen. They
Yeah.
have played well.
Yeah.
You've got the likes of Latavius Murray.
Yeah.
Right? Carr has played well for them out there. We didn't give them any love at all at the beginning of this season. We thought that they would be in the very, very basement, but they've proven themselves as a team. They're not a contender yet, but they've certainly done a lot to build that organization.
Yeah,
And any Sunday at home, especially, they're dangerous.
Yeah, and they're getting better every year.
Yeah.
The Jets are the number 1 ranked offensive line so far this year. So that's a big thing too.
Seeing some chinks in that armor though, slowly.
Yeah.
But like I said, they went into Foxborough and scored 23 points against the Patriots. There was only a touchdown the difference there. This is why I'm holding out hope for those Dolphins. The right team shows up, they could give them some trouble. But
I'd like to see it. I just
yeah.
don't think it'll happen.
Okay. Next we got Seattle going into Dallas to play the Cowboys. How do you like this one?
Seahawks all the way.
Me too.
Yeah.
Even going into Jerrytown.
I think Seattle is going to start to show us their real team now.
Yeah, I think of them like the 2008 Giants who walked up the middle, who finished out strong under Jim Fossil and said, we're going to make it and we're going to get there, and then had to do the extra game with the wild card. Seattle can never be counted out of the equation, and there's some real panic now in Dallas.
Yeah, and you got Marshawn Lynch back now, and you got that Seattle defense is still there.
Defense by committee.
3 points last week, I believe. And
3? Really?
Yeah, they gave up
That
3
many?
points. I couldn't believe it, but I believe I could be incorrect in saying this, but San Francisco only had about 96 yards on the ground total, or 96 yards total.
Total yards.
Total offense.
Yeah, they
96
really
in the air. I'm not sure.
they underwhelmed. They've been doing that all
They
year.
did bad.
They did bad, huh?
Seattle defense is back. And
I
they
think
should be able to handle
they're
that.
going to give them fits. I think that points off turnovers here will mark this game.
Yeah.
And I think
I
that
agree.
Seattle gets out front early. The Legion of Boom is back, folks.
Yeah.
We'll see that. Enjoy that, Paul. Shout out to Paul Loader this week. Paul is actually in the hospital getting a little something done. So he's going to be out of commission until next week. So you won't see that beautiful storyboard with all our picks on it this week online. But certainly, hopefully, he's back in the mix next week.
I
So
heard that Paul's a pretty good football player himself. Hey, Paul, keep a leg up in the competition, buddy.
oh, all right. Next, we got one that I'm pretty sure you're going to have to homer out on like I did. That's Green Bay and Denver. I see this as the Green Bay Packers going to 7-0, baby, and I think
Denver Broncos!
And here's, you know what? The Denver
You're gonna
defense.
hate that football.
Listen, man, we got to have footballs to get through the rest of the season. The Denver Broncos offensively have not impressed me at all.
I agree.
There have been games they have not scored an offensive touchdown. And you're coming into the likes of peaking Eddie Lacy, and of course, we got to look at Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks to ever lace up boot litter. And I think they go into Denver and they show that they're a better offensive team and they score more points than the Broncos. That's how this goes down. This is a high-scoring game.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing the ball, that's for sure, and he's going to be throwing it against Chris Harris Jr. or Aqib Talib. If you want to send Lacey up the middle, he's going to be dealing with Marshall. He's going to be dealing with Danny Trevathan. Send him around the side where DeMarcus Muir and Von Miller are waiting for him. These guys have the best defense in the league, #1 ranked right now, and they're going to beat Green Bay and silence the doubters.
Okay. So maybe you get to wear your pretty Broncos shirt or dress next week, and I'll get to wear my Miami hat. It'll be very
With any luck.
We'll see how that goes. All right. Anyway, game of the week, I think. And I think it'll be high scoring, but it'll be close. And we got one more, and that's the Monday Nighter. And this one is of special interest this week to me. Indianapolis, who've been free-falling, are going into Carolina to play the Carolina Panthers, who for the first time in the organization's history have gone 6-0. And I think they're going to go 7-0.
So do I.
And I just want to say here, folks, there's been a lot of adversity, well, in South Carolina more than North Carolina, but, the flooding and everything, you folks have gone through an awful lot down there. Football's very important to you people. One of our own, Barry Fitzgerald, is down there. He's going to be down there this week to see that Carolina game. And he's already made contact with apparently the tailgaters extraordinaire of the National Football League, and that's the Panther fans down there. And they actually have a website, Panther Fans, and it's all one word with a Z, we'll say, so pantherfans.net. And I was in and had a look at the site today, and they're all about it, man. They've got a bus for going back and forth to the games. They have their tailgate menus. They're an awesome bunch. And I want to wish you all the best down there. I'm hoping that things are getting better for you. I know that you've had some trouble with the weather and stuff down there. So we want your Panthers to do well this week, and hopefully Barry will get a chance to tell us about how great you guys treated him down there. And just wanted to have a look at the site, folks. I mean, it's pretty neat. PantherFans.net. And we'll try to put that up on the screen there for you. I know our director is all about that. So good luck, guys. And I think you're going 7-0. We're looking forward to that. It could be Cam Newton's year, right? Down there in the south.
Well, as you know, Carolina has been one of my favorite teams for a long time now. I've always loved the defense there. This year I've been highly impressed with Cam Newton and his leadership that he's come up with this year. Matured a lot, and Carolina is looking like a team to beat in the NFC. They could be upset specials right there.
So keep up the good work. So that's who we picked this week, folks. Stick around. We're going to tell you who our team and our player of the weeks are.
Welcome back to the I Formation, and we are going to make our pick for player and team of the week right now. Who you got?
I think we're both going to be homers this week.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? I'm telling everybody that's listening now that I think the Dolphins are going to got what it takes to win the Foxborough and beat the Patriots. And so I'm going with the Miami Dolphins. And I think I'm going to go with Ryan Tannehill. He had a great performance last week.
Did he ever?
Yeah. So I think, the offensive line holds out there down in New England. I think that he's going to have another big game against the Patriots. And you?
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see that happen. I don't think it's going to. I'll give you a hard time about it, but love to see it. Anyway, going to go with my Denver Broncos, of course, and cornerback Aqib Talib.
You just like saying that, don't you?
Yes,
sounds like a dance or something.
The reason I'm picking him is because
the Aqib Talib.
Aqib Talib. That's right.
That's right. I don't even know, man.
Once again, it's Aqib Talib.
You want to mix that up and do it like a remix or something. Aqib.
If I'm pronouncing
Talib.
his name wrong, I'm going to be very embarrassed.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time, man. No. All right.
Aqib Talib. We'll try that way. I don't know. It might work.
Yeah. You don't want to get on the Aqib Talib bandwagon. All right. That's how we saw it this week, folks. You like that? Yeah. That's how we saw it this week, folks. We're so glad to be back, and we're so glad there were people out there who were wondering where we were for a couple of weeks. It's great to know that there are people out there watching our show every single week. And another shout out to you Panthers fans down there. Hopefully everything goes well for you today, and you guys remain one of the unbeaten teams this week. So we can't wait to get the story about Barry down south. He's looking forward to a big tailgate party. So remember, folks, it's important that you all enjoy the games on the weekend, but the most important thing is that you respect the game and that you don't drink and drive. And you can look us up on Facebook, right? We have our Facebook page. Give us a like. Certainly we're on Twitter as well as the iFormation. You can follow us there. And you can send us email at the Gmail account, theiformation@gmail.com. So, anything to add, my friend?
Nope, you covered it.
All right. Well then, that means it's just as good night from me.
It's good night from him. Have fun. I dropped my football.